I saw United bounce back, so I had to put on the soundtrack. Wout Verkoor's got his first goal, and he thoroughly deserves that. Man, you squandered a whole lot of chances, but I can't say I really mind that, cause after the 7-0 beating, I just wanted to know where the head's at. I saw United bounce back, so I had to put on the soundtrack. Wout Verkoor's got his first goal, and he thoroughly deserves that. Man, you squandered a whole lot of chances, but I can't say I really mind that, cause after the 7-0 beating, I just wanted to know where the head's at. What? I've got a text. Yo, this is the OT99 banter room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Like Manchester United 4, Real Betis 1. Manchester United is back to winning ways. Edwin, I think that Manchester United is trying to slowly overcome this trauma that they experienced against the team, dare I mention, and a scoreline, dare I mention. You know what? Talking about that scoreline, yeah, I'm sure sales shot up with certain fizzy drink brands. Dare I mention the name? Do you know what I mean? But you know what? It looks like we've put in a professional performance today. Because against that team, we were unprofessional today. You know, Erik ten Hag stuck with the same lineup. And, you know, did that surprise you, by the way, Edwin? Did that surprise you that Manchester United kept that same lineup?
First of all, you know, no music to start off the show today, no? no music.
A therapy session music, where reality.
Now, you know what it is? I think I was a bit shocked because I'm like, you know what? That battering of 7-0 was too much for not. I think I spoke to you before the game, and it's just like you were just saying, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, they just stuck to the same team. Maybe they just changed a few things around, actually, though. Although it was the same names. You remember Bruno played a bit deeper.
He was dropping pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah, he played closer to Casemiro.
Spraying those balls.
With Fred, yeah. Rashford started on the left and Workhurst played up front. So I was a bit shocked because when you lose that heavily, you expect some changes, you know what I mean? But you probably thought, you know what, like, this is not a time to start making heavy changes and changing the stuff. Let's just keep faith in the team and move forward. So, look, I expected more changes, but they didn't make the changes, and you know, it worked out. You know, we on such a heavy defeat, we came back and won, you know, 4-1. But after that first half, I thought another one where Man United like played okay in the first half, and they'll have to turn up in the second half. And we saw in the last game that you can't be relying on having good second halves, because if the team just brings it to you, then you're in trouble. That's what Liverpool did to us. Like they got the goal before time and just came and battered us the second half. But today was a good performance, you know, in terms of, especially it wasn't our best performance, but on the back of what we experienced before, you know, we should be like, yeah, okay, we've done okay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you know what? I saw that lineup and I thought, you know, I'm glad they were out. I didn't want them to hide. I didn't want them to dwell in that 7-0 loss. I really wanted them to come out and, you know, face the music hall again and bounce quick, you know, right back. And I was glad to see all of them man lineup. I know certain man probably didn't deserve to start for Manchester United and wear a shirt after that performance, but I feel like we really needed to come out and overcome that loss. Look, we need to move on. We've got big games ahead. Look, Manchester United's got one leg in the quarterfinals, and these men snap back. And for me, that's a positive sign, because you don't want those guys not getting minutes, not getting that feeling of winning again and putting that 7-0 to rest. And then going into Premier League games like, you know, your Southamptons and all of that. You don't want that, because Man United is still trying to fight for top 4. Like, we haven't got that certified like people may think. So, I mean, I was happy. But you know what, Edwin? I was thinking the test that's really going to be big for us, just one last thing on this whole mental thing again after that Liverpool, is the Newcastle game, because a lot of our games is, you know, obviously we got Real Betis away, but we've got fortunate with a lot of home fixtures, even in the FA Cup, you know, fixture, we're at home. Today we were at home, you know. And on Real Betis, we've obviously got one leg in the door, so it may affect our performance, but it's like Newcastle's going to be that real fixture where we're playing away from home, and it's going to be interesting to see how we perform in that game. Do you know what I mean? I mean, really interesting. But what's your takes on Rashford's goal, man? Another
I think it was a good take and go. Look, I think what we hit them sort of on a counter.
Yeah.
Bruno was lucky that it wasn't the best pass by Bruno, but the defender, knocked it into the path of Rashford. Him being confident, instead of trying to shoot the first time or do it, he done a little dummy, shifted it, and just placed it. Put his
composure,
foot
man.
through the ball. So, yeah, I think
composure,
just like in front of that goal, like. So yeah, I think it was a good first goal. Took it nicely. Good first touch. Good awareness. Take it away from the defender and just smash it in. So yeah, I think Rashford is showing that sometimes he's doing. You know what? At times he's doing. Showing that less is more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, Rashford would be doing the most, running around, doing this, but he's getting into what he's doing. What I think he failed to do is popping up in those dangerous places to have those chances. And I think he's a bit more deadly. Like if he's got a chance, you're kind of confident because what they said is 18 goals in 22 appearances or something like that since the World Cup. So
crazy
26 goals altogether, 25 or 26. So
probably
it's something about equaling like potentially like Ronaldo's like
European goals or something like that.
Yeah. So look, he's
I don't even know what that record is. Not equaling. He can never equal Ronaldo's European goals. But I heard the stat when they was talking about it.
There's something about like it being so. Yeah. So, but look, I think he's done well and he took the goal well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I agree. I think Rash. I'm glad to see that he's got that after that thrashing that we got, him doing this just hit different today to me. I feel like he's doing you have to do a lot to maintain that focus, to maintain that mentality, to keep scoring every other game. And I think Rash is stepping up for us because he's got a huge pressure on his shoulders. Do you know what I mean? He's literally our goal scorer. And what he's doing to maintain that sort of momentum is you can't be brushed under the rug. Like he really is putting in a shift.
Crazy though. He kind of, like you say, he's kind of put the pressure. It's crazy to say, but he's kind of put the pressure on himself because he's been doing so well. You know what I mean?
Massive.
Like, because before that there wasn't really pressure on him. We're just like, okay, Rashford. Like the question is, the question would have been at one point in a like parallel universe that. Does Rashford deserve a new contract?
Imagine.
But now it's more like, is Rashford going to score? Like, you know what I mean? So he's actually turned up, especially after the World Cup. And bear in mind, he didn't really even play like that during the World Cup. You know what I mean? It's not like he was on the starting thing. So shout out to him, man.
Shout out to Rashi, man. Shout out to Rashi. And I think this game, right? Besides David De Gea giving away I remember he's giving away a ball, passing it to...
He gave away like 2 or 3 times clearly where he just, but you know what? There's such brilliance in his shot stopping that even though we shouldn't, like, not that we should disregard it, but it's like, you know what? He's good at saving us, but there's little things here. He just literally switches off. Like,
and this is why he has the fan base split.
But at the same time, we can't expect him to do a role that he's not designed for because, as I said, like there's a lot of things that change. Like when Conte came to Chelsea, he changed the whole outlook of 3 at the back, and now Guardiola's cut. When he came to Man City, he changed the way goalkeepers played. You know what I mean? You have to be a good ball playing goalkeeper, but it's not his role. Man. We clearly see he's not good at distributing the ball out of the box, so they've got to find a way. Of maybe just telling them to, especially if we're playing workers, just I'd rather just kick the ball up there,
bro. And this is my thing. I feel like sometimes David De Gea's his mistakes with his distribution is it even forced, which makes it even worse at times. It's like if you're getting tracked down and pressed,
and that's the thing. Is like the ones he did do, like say, he weren't even under pressure.
No pressure.
He just
the ball
he
out.
literally just looked.
Like, huh?
He just looked at. It's like he got. Do you know what it is? I think he gets the ball. And he's already made a decision of what he wants to do,
and he doesn't
even look up. He'll look up once, get the ball, and think the player's still there.
Yeah, the old picture. Yeah.
Because he's still got because he does it so comfortably. I think like he's not doing it on purpose, but I think he's seen something already, and he's not realizing players move around. and he just decided, let me do that.
Fam, I listened to Bruno Fernandes interview with Rio Ferdinand, and Rio Ferdinand was querying him about how he makes his passes and what he's doing during, like, when he receives the ball. And Bruno Fernandes is like, you know what? He looks around, sees that picture, has a picture in his head, he gets the ball, and then he does what he does. But he says there's little things that can change that picture. Like if something happens in a split second, it changes the course of everything. Then that move is dead. He has to look again. And I think with David De Gea, like you said, I feel like he looks up, sees the picture, 5 seconds can pass by, and he still sees that picture in his head, and he passes the ball. And look, like I said, the one way he kicked it out, I was thinking, what, is anyone injured? You know, when you kick the ball out, just to like see, let the referees or whatever.
Oh, the one way he kicks it out like on the right back.
Bro, I was like this. I was like, who's injured? Who's done? Where's the paramedics? This is mad. Then he kicks it to opposition like twice, and it's just unforced. But again, on the other breath, you know, he makes world-class saves, and you're just like, you know what? This is why we left David De Gea. So it's really tough. But I mean, I'm reading rumors that's out there about Raya, you know, us looking at Raya to challenge David De Gea. Look, David De Gea's in his last year of his contract, so we'll see what happens with him. But let's move on, man. Let's move on to who should we move on to?
Anthony. Let's move on to Anthony.
Oh,
no,
Anthony.
who scored the second goal? It was Anthony, right?
Yeah. Let's move to Anthony. Anthony's
So
trademark
let's talk
goal.
about Anthony. So
Did Bro Betis not study Anthony though? Did they not study Anthony, and he's cutting in, and then the left foot
but you know what? It's because he was so in effect. He wasn't that effective in the first half. They'd probably be like, he ain't gonna do anything. You know what I mean? So like, there's times where Anthony had. This is my problem with Anthony. At times he had the left back on a 1-to-1. And it's like he was afraid to run at him fully. And when he did run at him and he had maybe a yard or two, instead of maybe like blasting the ball across the goal, he'll cut into his left. You know what I mean? So, look, I don't think he had the best first half. Maybe second half improved a bit. But he scored a great goal. So
obviously Anthony is showing signs where he can frustrate you quite a lot, like Nani did for us. You know, at the same time though, he shows these little glimpses of what he can do, and he showed that with a goal today. Look, with Anthony, for me, do you feel like he can improve? Do you feel like he can?
Yeah, I feel like his decision making, because like he got played through, and he could have scored, but everything is, and it's the way. Look, even with Rashford, he should learn from that. Sometimes just blast the ball, like all this trying to finesse. Like there's a chance where he tried to like place it, even that chance where he dinked it over, like where he could get better is his decision making.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Do you remember that opportunity where he had like Fred?
He had Fred, Weghorst, and Rashford.
And they were like, what's going on? Eric Ten Hag is fuming, screaming on the byline, and he's like, if you take it on and you try to score, you just got to go in the back of the net, and he didn't ripple the net.
Yeah, but this is where the decision making and you as a like shows you improvement. Sometimes it's not about you being in the score sheet. Just get an assist.
Big fact. I feel like he.
What happened? What happens? Like in them situations, I know this wasn't a score. Those are the games where it's a last minute. It's 1-1. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
Like,
and this is what's frustrating about our team. You need to fall
out of habits of doing those kind of things.
Look, our team had plenty chances. I think there's chances where, like without Weghorst being offside, our players just being offside, you know. And Rashford getting opportunities offside, without Weghorst offside. I remember him just going shy off the near post, like getting these opportunities. I remember Anthony slipping in the ball to Rashford, but the pass wasn't that great. And all of these things. And you're just like, look, Manchester United, if we were clinical, we would have been 2-3 goals up. First half, calm. And it just makes you feel like how much we need a striker. It really makes you feel like how much you need a striker. Because even though we didn't play well today, this is a game like, say you had an Osimhen, even if you had a Kane, Manchester United, even though we've been performing poorly, we will be like 2-3 goals up in the first half, and it will just be like clean sailing. You know what I mean? I just feel like Manchester United's clinicalness and the over-reliance on Rashford is costing us, man. It's costing us big time.
To be honest, yeah, like I haven't seen Man United in a long while due to others what's been done to us, like the 6-0, the 6-2 or 6-3 for Man City, or the 7-0 for Liverpool. We're winning games, yeah, but I haven't, like, even we've seen Arsenal like better teams, we've seen Chelsea better teams, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't seen Man United just batter a team. You know what I mean? Like a good 5-6-7-0
And we need
in
that.
a while.
And we need that. And I look at our team and I'm just like, it's just.
We made the chances. It's just that. So I don't know what it is. We're just not clinical in that final third. But
all we've got is Rash. Martial's been injured the whole season. Like even when we have Pelestri come on, you see the impact that even Pelestri has. Like, do you know what I mean?
But the thing is because he's direct, and that feeds into Workhorse's goal. I know we're skipping Fernandes, but the corner comes out. Workhorse, he runs past the defender, he passes it into McTominay. McTominay's shot gets saved, and Workhorse taps it in here. But look how direct he was. And that's where, you know what I mean, get to the byline and just play in, just cause mayhem. And I think that's where Anthony lacks sometimes.
Bro, he took on three guys.
He wants to be a bit too neat. Yeah.
Bro, Pelestri dribbles, goes at guys, took on three guys, dribbled around and went to the byline, whipped it, and boom. That's how things happen. And I feel like Anthony would have been doing this tick-a-tacker thing or just doing stuff where he, tries to go for goal, shoots it over, whatever. So Pelestri, I mean, look, we can't just be having Rashford doing the job of a winger and doing a job of a striker. Manchester United, what this team looks like, it needs that speed, it needs that pace. We need those guys that can get on the end of a free ball, because that's how we play. Transition, counter attack.
I don't know, like I was kind of joking when I said this to you, but when I watch your games, like sometimes Anthony be playing like he's a retired old guy. Like, you know, when you've had your 10, 20, like 50 years of the game, and like he plays like he's lost his pace or he's lost elements of his game. Like,
you watch him, you just want him to have that extra bit of speed.
Yeah, just like get it and just run. Like,
you wish he was like that Martinelli speed or something. Just that.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not even about the speed. Just run. Yeah. Because even look at like for instance, the right midfielder that plays for Newcastle, right?
Amarin. Or
he's not the fastest, but he's just everywhere.
Yeah.
He's running at them, because sometimes it's not even about being fast. Just run at them, cause an issue. You know what I mean? I don't think he's just too neat. I feel like he's just too sometimes in his shell. Like just
go at, man. Yeah, it's true. We've been saying that, man, and I hope. I mean, if anything, the decision making improves. That's he needs to improve, and that it's still young, still early days, but hopefully, he becomes good. But look. Bruno Fernandes, he gets on the end of a nice, well-delivered cross by Luke Shaw, and he gets his goal. He also gets an assist, as you know. But I thought like Bruno put on a good performance today, man. I thought he put on a good performance. Playing centrally, he's able to go.
He played a bit more deeper. The only problem sometimes is there's still a bit problem with his passing. Like there's a time when you had it on the right, and then instead of just playing a simple pass, he's like spray the ball over to Rashford and it goes out. Like little things like that is a bit, you know what I mean? Sometimes trying to do too much instead of just building. So I think in those elements, I think he needs to just relax a bit. Look, everyone was onto him after the Liverpool game. So look, he came out, he put in a shift, he got his goal. Potentially could have got sent off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I was exactly that looked nasty slightly. He's lucky those studs
I feel like
connect, but he could have got a red.
Yeah, I think it's just the way his foot was probably turned, like so it looked like it was quite,
Do you know what? Right,
but overall, good performance.
Do you know what? Right, I was happy for two guys. One, Bruno Fernandes, after like the stress that he got after that loss, people talking about his body language, people even questioning captaincy and all of those things. I'm happy that he got on the score sheet and he had a decent game today. I think he had a good game, actually. I'll give him my man of the match. Spoiler alert. And also, about Weghorst, man, because again, you remember that picture of him touching the sign, and then he had to clarify himself as to why he was trying to stop. Like, I can't remember who said he was trying to touch that sign, trying to put them off, but the picture was showing of him touching the Anfield sign before it was coming out in the tunnel. He's got a lot of stake. He's been working hard, but he's just been too slow. He just feels like I
don't think it's too slow, because it's like he had the chance where he chested it in, right? That was offside, right? The player was offside. Then he had the chance where Anthony crossed it, even though he was offside.
Just slightly went wide. I think
he didn't know he was offside. Like, he still missed it. Like, I feel like he'd be getting into places, but
Yeah.
He's not clinical in front of goal, because even
Yeah.
though he is a bit slow, he has been getting chances. But look, he puts in the shift. So if he could add goals to his shift, he would be claiming a spot to be a Man United player. But it's like the lack of like, I don't know, just the lack of goal. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it does for us to sign him. Like, if we do sign him, he'll definitely be a backup striker. You know what I mean? He won't be starting as much as he is now. But look, you know what? Like, shout out to him, because he has put in a shift. You know what I mean? He always tries. So
Yeah.
it's good to see him. And the way he reacted, you know, he wanted that goal.
Look, I think I was making a little joke about signing him up like after the West Ham game, because he put in a good performance then as well. And I think he got an assist in that game as well. But for me, I feel like, yeah, he got opportunities today, but it just needs to be clinical. I was just picturing, you know, if we had Osimhen at the end of some of these plays, look, you know, I have to keep name dropping him because he needs to come. Look, he needs to come. But yeah, I mean, I was happy for him. You can see that, you can see the emotion, you can see what Weghorst literally is almost in tears when he got that goal. It's like a big sigh of relief, man, after a tough, difficult week that he would have had. So look, I'm happy for these guys. We bounced back, man. We bounced back, hopefully. And hopefully that last game was just a blip and we can keep it pushing, man. We've got games coming like no man's business, and Manchester United need to be the best mind frame to be able to take on this run of games, man. And like I said, you know, with Manchester United and Erik ten Hag, I trust that Man United is in good hands. You know, he's bounced back from setbacks each and every time. And this is just going to be another example of where he bounces back. You know, we've got Southampton at home, and then we've got Real Betis, and then we've got Newcastle. And I feel like those 3 games have been nice and important for us, you know, to get back in our stride, get back into winning ways, and hopefully we can go into the Fulham FA Cup game and just keep getting games in. Just keep getting games, man. I want to see a nice, good run, man. Good run, because, you know what I mean? Newcastle game is going to be a nice little test to see where we're at. But hopefully we can keep it going. But who's your man of the match, Edwin, man?
Who's my man of the match?
You know mine already.
Yeah, you said Bruno. You know, Bruno had. I don't know. I don't know if something is like making me want to say Martinez. You know,
Martinez had a good game, but
like,
Bruno,
especially after the last game where Salah had to move in a bit. You know what I mean? Salah had Martinez doing breakdancing and that.
bro, if you see the memes that's going on,
but I was doing this, you know, the Spinneroonie.
Bro, Spinneroonie, bro.
But,
like they said,
you know what? I feel like he had a good, like, I just feel like he played well at the back, like especially after the last performance. I might give it to him. Bruno had a good game. You know, overall, I would say, I won't say man of the match, but I would say my individual picks, I think Bruno had done well, Rashford done well, obviously. But I'll just give it as a collective, you know what I mean? As a team, like just as the team as a whole.
You gotta be choosing one, fam. You can't be doing.
No, you know what it is? You know what? But I'll just give it. You know what? Maybe I'll just give it to. Let me just stick with what I was saying, Martinez. I'll just give it to Martinez.
Martinez had a solid game. It was
just something different in it, because we could easily say Bruno, Rashford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think he done well at the back. He was very good at like picking out the trouble, and also like just his dribbling, like calming at the back, like there was times where a player will be pressuring him, he'll cut the player,
shimmy,
and like just shifting, being able to transition to get the ball forward and stuff like that. So
he's so good at bringing calm to the defense, man. He's press resistant. Yeah, he's a quality seller. Like for me, he's up there, top 5 centre backs, man. Yeah,
just one more thing though, man. I think Wan-Bissaka needs to be starting more, man. I saw a difference at right back when he came on, man. Because the thing with that lot, he makes a lot more issues for himself. Like before, he's doing what Wan-Bissaka used to do. Wan-Bissaka used to cause a lot of troubles for himself and have to. But the lucky for him, he had a recovery. But I don't
That
know, man. I
injury
feel
slowed
like
him down, isn't it? I feel like he needs to get back up to speed. The
I don't
little
know
man.
if it's that or it's because Wan-Bissaka's playing better. We actually like maybe Wan-Bissaka's better than him. It's because remember Wan-Bissaka weren't playing the best, so we were always saying, "Oh, Delort." But now like Wan-Bissaka's actually playing better. We're like, maybe Delort wasn't always better choice. You know what I mean? It's just that Wan-Bissaka's actually showing. But look, yeah, I'll choose that. Who's your man of the match?
Bro, you already know, man. You already know my man of the match, bro. I said it already. Spoiler alert. Bruno Fernandes, man. Bruno Fernandes, bro. Bruno Fernandes. Look, when he was more central, do you know when we had, we had a winger on with Anthony now?
Oh, you said the gear.
Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, he's passing.
Bruno Fernandes, bro. Left, right. You can't stop that guy. He's everywhere. He was back to doing what he does best, and I like that. So, I gotta give it to him. But you know what I mean? Yeah, bring on. Look, for me anyway, on the fullback thing, just before we round up, I feel like Man United can do it and more attacking fullbacks. Like we've got Wan-Bissaka, good defensively. We've got Malacia, good defensively. Luke Shaw on his day puts in a good cross here and there, but I feel like our attacking fullbacks just need to be doing more. Like when you're looking at what they're doing in terms of how many balls they're putting into the box or how many assists or whatever they're doing, we just need more, man. If we're gonna we need more. Look at Pep and you see how he's looking to put Laporte on a transfer window and get Guardiola. You know what I mean? He's just ruthless like that. He always gets the best. Whereas if it was Man United, we'll be looking at Laporte saying, "Oh yeah, he can make a good squad. We'll keep him. Yeah, he's like we ain't like we're doing with Lindelof. Do you know what I mean? And for us,
but Guardiola's got that attitude, isn't it? If you don't want to be at the team, respectfully move on. You know what I mean? He doesn't he doesn't like holding people. That's what he done with Sterling. That's what he done with
Cancelo and
Cancelo.
I just feel like we just need to be leveling up at all times, man. Get the best in class. Like we should be getting the Hakimis, the Mazzola, you know what I mean? Like we should be getting the top in class, man. But it is what it is. But guys, thanks for joining us on another show in the bag. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and support the thing. We're back again with a new show soon. But remember to share your comments, man. Let us know who your man of the match was, what you thought, and whether you're over the trauma. We can do this together. But until next time, peace.
Peace.